Yo, what's up everyone? It's Crypto Insider JR here. If you're seeing thumbnails all over YouTube about Bitcoin, you already know what time it is. Prices are climbing, charts are looking like something out of 2017, and crypto Twitter, let's just say they're freaking out, in a good way for once. But before you throw your life savings into Bitcoin because it's going to the moon, let's break down what's actually going on behind the scenes. Why is Bitcoin going up right now? Is it hype, or is there something bigger at play? In this video, we're diving deep into the real reasons behind Bitcoin's surge. So grab your coffee, hit that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss this, and let's get into it. One of the biggest things driving Bitcoin's recent price action isn't some teenager on TikTok telling you to buy the dip, it's institutional money. We're talking about the giants of finance, BlackRock, Fidelity, even pension funds, moving serious capital into Bitcoin. And when I say serious, I mean billions upon billions of dollars. These aren't your typical Wall Street bets on some meme stock. This is different. They're starting to see Bitcoin as digital gold. With inflation still a concern, and the stock market being, well, the stock market, institutions are looking for alternative assets to diversify their portfolios. Bitcoin, with its limited supply and decentralized nature, fits the bill perfectly. This opens the floodgates for even more institutional money to flow into the crypto market, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Let's talk about basic economics for a second. When you have something that a lot of people want, but there's only a limited amount of it, what happens? The price goes up. That's it, supply and demand. Now apply that to Bitcoin. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. Unlike the US dollar, which can be printed endlessly by the Federal Reserve, Bitcoin can't be manipulated in the same way. There's a finite amount, and that scarcity is driving its value. As more institutions invest, as more people around the world learn about Bitcoin and want to buy some, the demand grows. But guess what? The supply doesn't. So what happens? You guessed it, the price goes up. And historically, every time a halving occurs, Bitcoin's price has seen a significant surge. Let's be honest, the world can feel a little bit like a dumpster fire right now. We've got wars, inflation that just won't quit, stock markets that look like a roller coaster designed by a toddler, and don't even get me started on the banking system. It's enough to make anyone want to bury their money in the backyard and hope for the best. But here's the thing, people are looking for alternatives. They're looking for assets that aren't tied to the whims of governments or the instability of traditional financial systems. They want something that's decentralized, transparent, and, dare I say, even a little bit rebellious. Enter Bitcoin. In times of global uncertainty, people don't just turn to gold for its potential to increase in value, they turn to it for safety. Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network, meaning no single government or institution can shut it down or manipulate it. It's also transparent, with every transaction recorded on the blockchain for everyone to see. So when you have a world that feels increasingly out of control, is it any wonder that Bitcoin is becoming more and more appealing? Okay, so we've talked about institutional investment, limited supply, and global uncertainty. But how does all of that actually translate into Bitcoin's price going up? Let's demystify this whole process a bit. Imagine a giant online marketplace. Not like Amazon, but a place where people buy and sell Bitcoin. These are called cryptocurrency exchanges, and some of the biggest ones you might have heard of are Binance, Coinbase, or Kraken. On these exchanges, just like any other market, you have buyers and sellers. Buyers are placing orders to buy Bitcoin at a certain price, and sellers are placing orders to sell Bitcoin at a certain price. When the price of Bitcoin goes up, it's because there are more buyers willing to buy at higher prices than there are sellers willing to sell. Positive news about Bitcoin, like a major company adopting it as payment or a country implementing Bitcoin-friendly regulations, can cause more people to want to buy, driving the price up. Social media plays a huge role, creating a wave of FOMO, fear of missing out, that pushes people to buy, often without doing their research. Chapter 5, The Halving Hype, Countdown to Scarcity. Remember that whole limited supply thing we talked about earlier? Well, it gets even more interesting with the Bitcoin halving. This is an event that happens roughly every 4 years, and it's hardwired into Bitcoin's code. It's not something that can be changed or manipulated, no matter how much someone might want to. So, what actually happens during a halving? In simple terms, the reward that Bitcoin miners receive for adding new blocks to the blockchain is cut in half. Miners are the ones who use powerful computers to solve complex mathematical problems to verify and add transactions to the blockchain. It's a very energy-intensive process, but it's also what secures the entire Bitcoin network. Now, the reward for mining Bitcoin is given in newly created Bitcoin, but with each halving, the reward is cut in half, meaning fewer new Bitcoins are being created. And remember, the total supply of Bitcoin is capped at 21 million. So with every halving, the rate at which new Bitcoins are created slows down, making those existing Bitcoins even more scarce. The next halving is expected to happen, insert month year if known, and the hype is already building. Chapter 6. From Wall Street to your street: social sentiment and retail investors. Here's the thing about price increases. They get people talking. And when it comes to Bitcoin, that talk can spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone from your Uber driver to your grandma is asking you if you've bought any Bitcoin yet. It's the water cooler talk of the 21st century, and it can have a real impact on the market. As Bitcoin's price starts to climb, it inevitably catches the attention of the media. News outlets love a good bull market story, and they start churning out headlines about Bitcoin's latest all-time highs. This, of course, attracts even more attention, drawing in a wave of new investors who are eager to get a piece of the action. Social media platforms like Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube become breeding grounds for Bitcoin hype. Influencers with millions of followers start talking about their crypto portfolios, sharing their gains, real or imagined, and urging their followers to jump on the bandwagon. This surge in buying demand from retail investors further fuels the price increase, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. Chapter 7. The Volatility Roller Coaster, a Final Warning. Now, before you go all in on Bitcoin because you think it's a guaranteed ticket to riches, let's take a step back and talk about the elephant in the room: volatility. Because while Bitcoin is known for its incredible price surges, it's also known for its gut-wrenching crashes. Bitcoin is a volatile asset. Its price can swing up or down by double-digit percentages in a single day, sometimes even within hours. When Bitcoin's price starts to drop, those same social media influencers and news outlets that were hyping it up just days ago start spreading fear and uncertainty. Headlines scream about Bitcoin crashing, experts predict the end of crypto, and suddenly everyone is selling, trying to get out before they lose everything. This panic selling can create a cascade effect, driving the price down even further. That's why it's crucial to remember that Bitcoin is not a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a roller coaster ride, and you need to be prepared for both the ups and the downs. Outro: Bitcoin's future, what's next? So, there you have it, a crash course on why Bitcoin is pumping right now. We've covered a lot of ground, from institutional investment and limited supply to global uncertainty and the psychology of market cycles. And the truth is, Bitcoin's recent rise is powered by a confluence of these factors. It's not just one thing, it's the perfect storm of events coming together to create the ideal conditions for a bull market. But here's the thing, no one has a crystal ball. While Bitcoin's future looks bright, with strong fundamentals and growing adoption, nothing is guaranteed. The crypto market is still in its early stages, and there will be bumps along the way. Stay informed, stay cautious, and never stop learning.